Hey guys, it's Joe, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make your choruses have a little bit more impact so they hit a bit harder when they come in. I'll show you a few different techniques. They're actually all quite simple to do and will hopefully help you out to make your choruses sound a bit bigger. So the first one's more of a writing technique than a production one, and that is to not only add extra sounds when the chorus comes in, but to also take out sounds on the build up to the chorus. So here, for example, I've got my pre-chorus and I've actually taken out quite a lot of sounds before the chorus hits, so that when it does hit, it's going to sound like it has so much more energy because it was lacking it before. So here I've got my verse leading into the pre-chorus, where I've got everything playing in the verse. Some of it drops out for the pre-chorus and comes back in for the chorus. So I'll just show you and talk about it after. So the bass is dropped out here, as well as the chords. Let's come back in, start building it up a bit. Then everything's playing together, as well as a few other sounds. So I've taken the bass out here because that's where a lot of energy is in a song, is in the low end. So if we take the bass out and bring it back in fully in the chorus, then it's going to sound like it has a lot more energy going on and it sounds much more lively. I've also taken the chords out because they fill out quite a lot of space. However, when they come back in, it does sound much more full. I've also added a few extra sounds. So I've got an extra melody layer here, layering with the bass but a few octaves higher. I've got a high-end filler, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then I've got an arpeggio being played later in the chorus as well, so it still builds up. So by adding the sounds, it's similar to what we're doing with taking sounds away. However, we're still making it sound even bigger because then it still differentiates it from the verse. Another method to use is to actually automate panning. And by doing this, we make it sound wider. So for example, in here, in my main chords for the chorus, they're panned hard left and hard right on each side. Now, when they're playing in the verse, they're still panned left and right, but not hard. They're about half of it. So when they do come in and they're hard panned, it sounds much wider. And I actually recommend doing this on quite a few different sounds, not on absolutely everything because that would just sound ridiculous, but on a few subtle sounds like this, it's going to give it a lot of space. It's going to make it sound really nice and wide and large. Similarly, on that note, as I mentioned earlier, I've got this high-end filler here. We've done a somewhat similar thing on there. Now, this is something I've done a video on before anyway, but I'll just go over it quickly again. Is that I've just got a couple of violins playing really high notes here. They're just layered with the chords, essentially playing the root notes, panned left and right with quite a bit of large reverb on them. And because of this, it's filling out a lot of that high end space that is kind of empty in the verse. So it's just in the chorus that I've got this going on. It's really quiet. So if we just listen to it solo, that's all it is, but with quite a bit of reverb on there. So this is just filling out quite a lot of that space, again making it sound nice and wide with the panning and the reverb on it, so that it does sound larger and wider when the chorus comes in. And lastly, probably one of the most common tools used is to use a reverse crash and a crash on the build up to the chorus. So you probably heard it before, but we'll just focus in on it now and actually pay attention. We've got this reverse crash here leading up, and then the chorus drop, as it were, when the chorus starts. So you can either use like a reverse crash or some white noise or something with this. I quite like the reverse crash because it sounds like it's just building up to something, and then I have the proper original crash at the very start of the chorus. And also on the crash here where it starts, I actually sidechain it to the kick as well, so that it kind of pulses a bit and has a bit more energy. So it blends in with the track a bit and just keeps the rhythm. So these are all really simple tools that you can use to just give your chorus a bit more impact and make it sound nice and lively when it comes in. It's not something to go overboard with. I wouldn't do like all of them all of the time. It just completely depends on your track and what works. And I just make sure I don't want to just keep throwing layers and layers and layers at the chorus because it's just going to sound muddy and become impossible to mix. I'd rather take out bits before because it's still going to essentially have the same effect. but trying to find a nice balance of the two is also quite good. So I hope you found this video useful, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment or contact me via my website. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers.